I don't know about you, but I've always seen the budget as being a bit like Lord of the Rings.
One does not simply walk into Mordor. There is evil there that does not sleep.
All finance ministers know the single, simple truth.
One does not simply release a budget.
First, you have to stand around by the photocopier while it prints, while trying to cook up a wacky angle.
Treasury slashing the size of its print run in favour of new digital apps.
Using technology to cut costs. The Treasury tell me they're saving about $100,000.
Because if you don't, everyone will just leave and fill the news hour with confused people in boxes.
Is that somebody's phone? It's extraordinary.
No.
When that's done, you walk into a disguised abattoir and are forced to talk over the moans of people being harvested for their souls. While unbeknown to you, Louise Upston draws the back of your head.
I acknowledge the initiative.
And because you've spent the preceding 6 months telling almost anyone who'll listen exactly what's in the budget, it's also god-awfully boring.
But you know that's okay, because the only way the financially illiterate, i.e. you and me, can respond to something so dull it could buzzkill the return of Jesus is to assume it must be okay.
But it never used to be like that. Once upon a time, the budget was released overnight, prompting people to queue in anticipation of price increases. But by Rogernomics, that was changing. In the lead up to the split budget of 1984, Labour ministers were laying down nuggets like a convoy of freedom campers.
According to Warren Main, all this old news got another round of publicity again last night in an avalanche of government handouts.
Embargo to noon Saturday, embargo to 6 a.m. Monday, being drip-fed out again. I think that what they're doing is getting the greatest possible mileage for this half of the budget, which is the giveaway one before GST.
And by 1993, National had had enough of the wham-bam thank-you-ma'am budgets and opted instead for an extended session of heavy petting.
The budget's still more than a week away, but come budget night, the government might have little left to announce. In an unprecedented move, it's drip-feeding its financial measures early.
At the time, Labour was all like, oh, whatever, so lame.
They want desperately a good budget presentation this year. They're getting all of the difficult announcements out of the way first.
But 7 years later, they were, nah, actually not fussed.
There have been dozens of so-called pre-budget announcements in the past few weeks.
If they're all released together, then two things happen. A, lots of them get missed, and B, the central fiscal messages also tend to get a bit overwhelmed by the details of some particular package that takes the fancy of particular journalists or people in the public.
If the budget media strategy has changed, so has coverage of the budget. Amazingly, there was a time when all of TV looked like the induction video for a cult.
And for a two-child family, entitlement runs out at $24,630.
These days, it's a snazzier affair. This year, there was a Duncan Garner-activated durry window, and Corin Dan's shit was peaking.
So budget coverage has evolved. Nowadays, politicians, commentators and journalists are engaged in a Darwinian struggle for naming rights.
Rubbish budget.
Suck it up budget.
Zero budget. Penny pinching budget. Very unexciting budget.
Nothing budget.
Zero reason budget. Tobacco tax budget.
This is going to be the mother of all budgets, yes, as they say. Duh.